Good morning, Kabroda crew. Welcome in. Thanks for joining the live stream. Thanks for coming back and checking us out again. Hopefully, y'all had a good day yesterday and enjoyed, kind of hanging back a little bit, waiting for the market to kind of tell us what's going on. Yeah, pretty good day yesterday. Little sunny over here. Nice weather. Good time to be outside. We're actually in a heat advisory today. Again, it's pretty cold in here, but outside it's like supposed to hit like 110 or something within yesterday, and then coming into today. I don't know if it's gonna hit that or not, but I think we were like 90s something yesterday, so we'll see if we hit our 110 today. But we are in a heat advisory, so who knows? Maybe we will. But yeah, hopefully y'all's days went good, and you had a good, good day yesterday. Nothing too much in the way of trading yesterday. Kind of had, mostly sideways price action, a little bit of down, kind of dropped back down into the area that we were the other day. Up then down. There actually was a pretty big FOMC meeting yesterday. I believe it was kind of going over, switching up, having Powell step down, and there's a new guy going to take his place, at least from what I was reading. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, I don't know. It affected the market a little bit, I would say. System kind of called it into it, though. Looking at the TA and stuff, that's why the system was calling a stand down yesterday. Because, what did we do? We didn't really do anything. Kind of broke out to the top. Technically, you did get the break of the top, yeah. And we were talking about it breaking up yesterday. But you didn't really get the go ahead. So came back down, went down, and then it broke out of the bottom. Same thing, didn't really continue down anywhere where we could have made money. So that's why the system said stand down today. And that kind of broke up, kind of broke down, didn't really go anywhere in the end of the day, mostly sideways. I guess if you had traded a little differently, maybe you could have taken a trade from the top to the bottom. That's kind of on y'all. That's what y'all can do. That's more advanced, I guess, thing you can do, but you guys could have done that if you're a little more advanced. But again, the system didn't call anything, so staying down, not too bad for yesterday. Especially just how it is. Sometimes good system, just you don't get to get in. That's all right. No trade is a good trade. Didn't lose any money either. Kind of running sideways right now coming into today. So we came up at right around here this morning, started open, kind of ran up a little bit, ran down, kind of just sideways again. We're not going anywhere. Kind of forming this sort of flag here coming into today after the breakdown of yesterday. Pretty big flag though for this little move. So really, probably not really. It's probably doesn't matter anymore. It's probably too big for that move, like I said. So I guess we'll go ahead and grab our Kabroda levels, kind of check it out. These are yesterday's levels, so we'll throw today's on, see where we're at, see what's going on, see if we can find anything going good. So let's head on over to Kabroda.com here. And we'll make this full screen for y'all. There we go. Got BTC right now. It's in a bearish orientation with a 4 out of 5 bearish. So that means 4 out of the 5 indicators we use to tell whether it's bearish or bullish, they're telling us it's bearish. So pretty strong bearish indicator. We are building, building for the bull side. The jewel's not lined up with us, and then we have MAS approved. The breakout line is 65,359. Breakdown line 64,121. And Bitcoin's sitting around that 64,250 level. And obviously we know that, we just kind of looked at it. It's the rounds there. Obviously this is when it snapshots the time, so it's going to be, the longer you wait to look at this, the more off it's going to be. We're going to go ahead and copy the triggers here, and we'll go back to our chart and set them on there. So grab our thing here. Thursday today. There we go. So these are the levels for today. This is what we're looking at. So we kind of already broken down a couple times below the breakdown line here today. We're seeing a 30-minute candle right now. 15-minute candle right now on the 830 candle, kind of breaking down, setting the predator lines. Predator lines are going to be the lines from the 8:15 to, or 8:30, sorry, 8:30 to 8:45 candle. And once those set a high and a low, that'll be the predator lines. It's just the high and low of the 8:30 to 8:45 candle. Once we get those set, though, that'll kind of tell us, a little bit more information. Basically, what we do, the reason we even have these on here is really, for a while, we kind of set it up thinking, okay, maybe this will help us, tell if it's going to go down or up for the day. But essentially now all they do is just kind of tell us, when the 8:30 candle is over. They do have a little bit of lenience, like a little bit of, I guess, pull on the market. So if you do get, if it does cross, to the downside of the predator lines or upside of the predator lines, whatever way, whenever it does cross, that's typically what you'll see the market go in that direction. But it's not like a super great indicator. So you can't really take that and say, okay, well, obviously we're going to go up because we had a little bit of, we had the predator line break to the upside, or, oh, we're going to go down because we had the predator line broke to the downside. So it's okay. It's just not great. So really it's because the 8:30 candle is when your New York future session opens. So you want to have, just be mindful of that candle, because that candle can have a lot of volume kind of just hit the market really fast. People are sitting down the computers. You got people, with bots kind of turning on and hitting the market right at that point. It's just, even though it might not be necessarily Bitcoin's, any time that really refers to Bitcoin, it's just a time that people are kind of jumping on the market, seeing what's going. People are getting into the trading for today. So that's why we kind of watch out for it, because it could have a volume spike, maybe in the wrong direction of what you're actually looking to trade. It could be problematic for you. Sometimes it's good, sometimes you get the volume spike and it actually helps you out, but a lot of times it kind of spikes in the wrong way. So you want to be mindful of kind of where it's at and what's going on. Yeah, we'll see though as we kind of jump into it here. Making a little bit farther, we do have our 30-minute range right here. Yeah, we have that 30-minute range right here on the bottom. You got the breakdown line right there too. So looking for possible breakdown here, just based off the lines. Their breakout line is pretty far up there. It is kind of interesting. You got the right here, you got the daily resistance actually in the middle of the two breakdown and breakout lines. So that's interesting for well, for a couple reasons, but mainly it's interesting because basically that is what we used to call a jailbreak trade. Essentially, with it being inside of the lines, you just have more likely to have a better trade overall if it does go to the upside. So it could have a nice breakout to the upside. We'll see But for looking at the trades overall, we're probably not going to go up there, just with how the lines are setting up. You have a nice 30-minute range right next to the bottom of the chart. The predator lines forming right near the bottom of the chart, definitely looking like it's going down. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here. In terms of the gap here, let's see. What are we looking at? We're looking at a 60% gap, so not too bad. In terms of how the gaps work and what we used to look at with the gaps, there's definitely some downside room here. Definitely looking like a good little trade to the downside as possible. If we go back to Kabroda Crew, I believe there actually is a trade set up in here. For some reason, I think the coding's a little off. We're going to give it a real refresh here to see, make sure we got everything going good. Right, one sec. All right, yeah. So we have a higher probability short. Definitely looking for the short trade today. For some reason, our Intel summary right here is saying, yeah, the gate is closed for whatever reason. So that's definitely not correct. I don't know why it's saying that. The rest of the system is calling for a short right now. So we're definitely looking for that. Yeah, so we're looking for that short. This is kind of the setup here. We'll go ahead and copy this and throw it onto our chart here, see what it looks like for today. We need this one here. Oh, I guess we didn't copy it for whatever reason. Okay. All right, well, I guess that button's not working. So we'll have to fix that. We can go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way, though, here. So we'll go ahead and grab our short position here. All right, so we'll grab our different levels and throw them in here. So what do we got? We got an entry price of 64,121. Oops, wrong thing. There we go. All right, we'll just move it up to 25, I guess. I don't know why we did that. Yeah, okay, it's gonna move up to that no matter what. We got our stop around this level here. So stop at 64,445, and then we got our profit level. Let's see, what level are we looking to take? $65,480. Short path from 64,000 T1 is structurally clean. It's only a light wall, blah blah. Heavy descent, no heavy max or maximum obstruction wall through T3. Okay, wow. So we're thinking possibly could go to T3 at 60,879 today. We'll just throw that as our target on here for now. So pretty big target there. Pretty nice little trade actually going on. Looking at it, Yep, short down to 60,879. That's what the system is calling. Yeah, we got it on our charts now, so kind of have it set up there. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good for the downside. So we'll see. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're looking for some downside trades today. We're looking for a short here. That's what we're looking at, trading to the downside. Taking a little bit to the downside. You could take about 40% on T1, 40% T2, and then trail the 20% down to T3. That'd give you a pretty good trade there. That's kind of what the system is calling for today. If we're looking at the overall trade, you can see it right here. Again, though, you know, we are just here for educational purposes only, not here for any kind of financial advice or anything like that. But yeah, that's the system's call for today. So, you know, you can kind of take it as you want it. See what you guys think about it. You have to let me know in the chart what you think, if you like that or don't like that. Yeah, what do you guys think? You guys think that's a good trade there? Good trade right here. I mean, what do you think? So a little bit at target one, keep going down. Could be good. Could be good. All right, let's check out already in the chart. I think you're saying already in the chart or in the short. I mean, maybe you're saying, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, already in the short. Looking like a nice trade to the downside here today. Nice call out for the live. We'll go ahead and run through this brief here. So the brief today, we got a bear wave 4 bounce at 13.7% complete from the 65,055 wave 3 low. If you've been around the channel, you know we've been saying that for a while, with the structure ceiling at 80,632. Price at 64,121 is grinding through the early bracket of its corrective advance and is now pulled back below that 65,736. Level that defined yesterday's session. Structurally meaningful deterioration inside a daily and weekly bearish macro time framework. This is not a new bull leg. Every session between 60,055 and 80,632 is a counter trend bounce, and the daily time frame is now pressing actively against the upside with a strong ADX conviction. The next directional resolution of this structure is to test whether the short side can begin with the reversion towards that 60,055, or whether we bounce reasserts and grinds higher. So like I said, you know, before, we are in the bear wave 4 trade still, looking for some downside here. Definitely looking like a nice little trade to the downside today. But you know, either way, we're still not in a long, we're not really in a short yet. We're kind of in the middle ground between the two. That's why it's been kind of a weird trading session lately. You know, with just been a weird trading session with the different things kind of coming in here. So yeah, we haven't really jumped into anything yet. In terms of, yeah, are we gonna like decide whether it's going down, decide whether it's going up? We're just kind of trading to the sideways a little bit right now because we still are technically in that wave 4, which is an up wave, until we cross that 60,000 level to the downside. And what it's saying there too is if we break up to the upside, we're going to need to cross that 80,632 level before we can actually confirm that we are in fact going to be breaking up and not breaking down. We'll just keep looking at the chart here for right now. So today's energy, obviously we're looking for a bearish energy today, but just overall the 4-hour is nominally bullish, but carrying negative momentum. Decay structure, not a healthy trend. The 1-hour is flipped bearish, the daily is bearish, with strong ADX conviction, and the 15-minute is primed, but the ribbon spread is at 0.17%, reflects readiness on minimal accumulated trust, not a structured fuel. Confirmed hidden bearish RSI divergence on the 15-minute at the London Open snapshot, and the PMARP overextension reading of 81.8% are on the board. The energy picture is directionally weighted against the long case on every meaningful time frame. Overall, we're looking at a higher probability of short. The structural case for the short is unambiguous. So a $4 word right there. The long measured move collapses entirely into a single 0.09% hop directly into a heavy wall at 65,418. So T1, T2, and T3 are all co-located at the same wall contact with the zero extension range beyond it. So essentially there's a big massive wall above us, can't really go up too high. The short path from 64,121.6 to T1 at 62,883 is structurally clean with only a light wall at 62,864. As a modest friction, a 1.96% descent with no heavy or maximum obstruction through T3 at 60,879. The daily is bearish with strong ADX, and the 1-hour trend is bearish, and the hidden bearish RSI divergence on the 15 is confirmed, and macro risk is off with the DXY trending bullish. Every directional weight points the same direction. 4-hour trend remains nominally bullish, induces friction, but with negative 4-hour momentum in the flat ADX. On the 4-hour, the nominal bullishness is structurally inertia, not energy. So essentially, pretty much everything is pointing to the downside. We do have a little bit of conflict on the 4-hour, but definitely looking for a downward side. Yeah, a lot of fancy words today. So basically put it into a little bit of a shorter time frame there. Or sorry, a little easier to, I guess, hear and understand. Basically, yeah, we're going to the downside. There's a massive wall above us, so even if we did break to the upside, not going to go up too high. But looking at the downside, we're definitely have some room to go down, all the way down to C3 at 60,879. Could be a pretty good bearish move today, especially with everything kind of leaning more towards that bearish move, with all the different time frames moving up to that 4-hour. Like I said, that's the one that's conflicting. We do have a little bit of bullishness there on the 4-hour in terms of different indicators and stuff like that, but overall the 4-hour is starting to flip to be more of a bearish look. So that's why we're saying we're probably going to go to the downside, and that's where we'd be calling that. But yeah, should be a pretty decent little trade today, so we'll see what's going on, see what happens. See what we can get into. Technically, we are in this trade as of now, I guess. Or been in it for a minute. Definitely looking pretty good for the downside trade. We'll see as we go on. Yeah. Could be a nice little down trade today. 60,000 looking pretty big. If we do break down to that 60,000 range, probably sit around there for a minute, and then Friday we'll see a continuation down below that 60,000, and maybe we'll get a close below on the weekly. That would be pretty nice for us. If you don't know, we can go back out to the weekly here, and I'll show you what we've been talking about. So what we've been talking about, is this Elliott wave. That's what we were talking about a little bit earlier on the live with the different Elliott wave levels, saying we're still in wave 4. Wave 4 would be this bounce up to here. Technically, we're still in it until we can break this wave 3's low. So we need to break wave 3's low and get a little bit of continuation with a close below it. Once we get that close below it, we can confirm we are in wave 5. So, overall, just kind of looking at this, you could say, okay, we are in fact in wave 5, but we do need to close below to confirm that. If we do break down to wave 5, we're looking for a 50,000 to 45,000 level breakdown. Could possibly even lower at 42,000, depending on how good the drop is, after that. But definitely need that breakdown below that 60,000 level before we can confirm that we're going to continue down there. It's a level we've been kind of waiting for, a level we've been calling for a while. So, seeing this isn't anything too crazy to kind of see that we could possibly come down here and get a close below, especially today. Something we've been waiting on, but that's overall, that's why we're saying that. Elliott wave kind of on the longer time frame, you're looking at first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. Why are we calling that 40,000, 5,000 target? Well, it's because whenever you do an Elliott wave, you can go ahead and grab the first wave here and draw a target from the top of the first wave to the bottom of the first wave and draw that right off of the wave 4 there. And that's kind of your target right there. So around 50,000. If you do the full-on mathematical way to kind of get that level there, it's actually right around 45,000 or so. So that's why we kind of say 45 to 50,000. It also depends, on people and how people trade it and how the market kind of just plays out. So even though we might go down that low, it's not necessarily guaranteed that we're going to hit that 45,000 lowest low level, or even the 42,000. So that's why we kind of keep ours a little higher at 45 to 50,000, because there's definitely a possibility of a bounce right beforehand. Again, like we said, there could be a bounce here right now. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a breakdown here. The reason, obviously, that we're going to continue saying it's breakdown is because we are in fact in a breakdown. We're in a bullish trend or bear trend on the weekly, and we're still seeing that downside risk. Definitely seeing the pull down there to that 60,000 level is definitely possible. The only way that we could really change that is if we got that above that 80,000 level that we were talking about, the 80,632 level. So we need to kind of come up and get above that level before we can confirm, okay, maybe we aren't in a bear trend, maybe we're flipping and showing ourselves in a bull trend here, or it's trying to still show some reversal here. But until we kind of break either of those lines, we're kind of in a sideways price action. You know, there's not a lot going on, not a lot happening. Again, you know, we're gonna have to kind of wait and see what happens here. See how we break down. See, I mean, yeah, just kind of see what happens throughout the day. This is the system call, though. Today is a trade to the downside. Again, you know, it's just for educational purposes. We're not trying to help you guys out any financially or anything, or give you financial advice. Just for educational purposes. But again, yeah, that's the system there. Yeah, overall, sorry about all the distractions today, guys, but definitely looking like a pretty good trade today. So you just have to see how it does. We'll have to kind of watch it through. Hopefully it doesn't go through the weekend, I guess, but you know, kind of watch it, and then you kind of just chillax for the weekend. Have a good Saturday, good Sunday, and then we'll be back on top of it on Tuesday again here on the live to kind of check out the markets again. Probably go back through all of this again, so it'll be really nice. Thank y'all for joining. We didn't say good morning to y'all today, but thanks for joining, Terry. Thanks for joining, Kathleen. Thanks for joining, Spirit Maker. Thanks for coming in and, you know, seeing us on the live stream, seeing us go through the different levels and stuff like that. But definitely should have a nice little trade down today. So hopefully you all are checking it out at least. Yeah, I think Terry said he was in it. Spirit Maker's in it, so should be a pretty good little drop down. Yeah, overall though, yeah, like I said, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for checking us out. Hopefully this live stream is helpful for y'all. Helped you learn something, or maybe just helps y'all see the market in a little bit different way. But if it did help y'all at all, just hit that like button. Really helps out our channel. Hit the subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit the bell notification if you want to catch up on, if you want to check out our other lives, or just be notified whenever we do in fact go live again. But like I said, we will be live 8:30 a.m. CST on Tuesday. So whatever time that is for you in your time zone, you guys just change it to that, and we'll be live at that time. So thanks for joining again, and we will catch y'all next Tuesday. Happy trading, y'all. Have a good weekend.